Good evening, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shock here at StormChaserJS.com. Taking a look here at the next 2 weeks or so. Take a look at the overall pattern because there is, again, a thaw that will be coming into the areas where it's been so cold over the last couple of weeks, really since mid-December in the northeastern and eastern part of the United States. Believe it or not, it snowed again in Florida 2 nights ago at the storm that came through and was down to a lot of mid-teens. I forget what city it was, but it was somewhere around Tallahassee was about 17 this morning, and mid-20s all the way down to central, almost southern Florida, where like low to mid-30s just outside of Miami. So it was quite cold in Florida. I can't get over how cold it actually got down there, despite being no snow on the ground. So way below normal, but it's going to warm up in the longer term. Again, here's days 0 through 5 off the 12Z run of the GFS Ensemble. You can see the warmth coming out, still cool in the southeast. Really, that's from the first couple of days. But once we get past really about day 3 through day 5, this cold down here will be offset as warm air continues to overtake the pattern. Here is days 0 through 5 at 500 millibars. You can see the pattern. You can see the trough coming into the western part of the United States. We have the ridge here developing over the northeastern part of the United States. So cold out west, warm in the east. Here's what the surface temperatures look like days 5 through 10. Again, very similar. You can see warming in the east, cool back out west. 500 millibars 5 through 10. Trough off the Alaskan coast, ridging up over the pole, established, coming up and around. So this is a warm pattern. All the cold air remains here in the low height field in western Canada and the south of the Alaskan coast. And you can see that quite nicely, how cold it is relative to normal and widespread warmth, again, where it has been so cold. And then days 11 through 16, you can see things are beginning to change now. And really, and there's some skepticism I've seen the longer range forecast, weekly products, the Canadian weeklies and the European weeklies, that this is going to like shift around again once we get maybe in the mid-February, that we're going to be in a similar situation that we were in late December, where we have a trough in the east and a ridge in the west, and maybe some more very, very cold weather relative to normal coming back east. But overall, again, the next 2 weeks, it's going to warm up in the east and cool in the west. But you can see that transition starting to occur here. We're starting to get the ridge now south of Alaska. We have the ridging up over the top, but we still have the ridge here in the east. Likely the ridge is here days 10 to 13, and then by 15, 16, the trough starts coming through, and this begins to shift around. So that is something to take note of once we go into the month of February, and I'll have more on that as we get a little bit closer. But here's the precipitation. Again, when it rains a lot or when there's precipitation above normal, when you're in this kind of a pattern that we're going into, it gets warm, it's transient. There's a low actually this weekend, pretty powerful low, in the low to mid 990s, going to be coming up through the Ohio Valley and giving some heavy rain to New England early next week. We're going to have to watch the ice dam situation again on the river. Temperatures getting into the 40s and 50s with maybe as much as 1 to 2 inches of rain early next week. So that's something to keep an eye on next week here in the northeast as well. But overall, an active pattern but a warm pattern in the eastern part of the United States. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.